Hello everyone, welcome to What's Up in Portugal. I'm your host Perry, and today we're going to be talking about one of the most famous and one of the most recognizable sites in all of Portugal, the Dom Luís First Bridge. Straight off the bat, I want to dispel one common myth about this bridge. A lot of guidebooks say that this bridge was designed and built by Gustav Eiffel, the same man who designed the Eiffel Tower, but that is not true. Whoa, yeah, calm down. Yeah, I know, it's not true. It's one of the most common misconceptions in the world. The Dom Luís Bridge was actually designed by Théophile Seyrig, Eiffel's business partner. Gustav Eiffel did design and win a contract to build a bridge in Porto, but it's not this one. It's this one right over there, the Maria Pia Bridge, about a kilometer away from the Dom Luís Bridge. The Maria Pia Bridge was named after King Louis I's wife and looks almost exactly the same. There was one noticeable difference between the two bridges. The Dom Luís Bridge has a lower pedestrian crossing bridge, whereas the Maria Pia Bridge doesn't. Can you see it? How about now? And now? Yeah, they're basically the same thing. The Maria Pia Bridge was actually constructed first between 1876 and 1877, opening in October of 1877. It was so good that the Porto municipal government decided to build a better bridge elsewhere. So only 3 short years after completion of the Maria Pia Bridge, the Porto government decided to hold another competition to see who would build a bridge closer to the city, connecting Porto on the north bank with Gaia on the southern bank. Théophile Seyrig beat out the competition and won the contract to build the bridge. Seyrig was also one of the main designers of the Maria Pia Bridge, and he was actually the foreman, or the guy in charge of the construction of the bridge, so you can see that there was a definite influence between the two bridges. Construction took place between 1881 and 1886. There was actually another bridge right next to the location of the Dom Luís Bridge, as you can see in this picture, called the Ponte Pensil Dona Maria II, which was basically a pedestrian bridge, but once the Dom Luís Bridge was completed, they tore it down. The reason why they decided to build a new bridge was because Porto, as a financial and commercial city, was expanding and moving goods to the Maria Pia Bridge to cross over the Douro and then bring it back to the center of Gaia was impractical, and the Maria II Bridge was always congested and made traveling hard. Anyone who's ever been stuck in a traffic jam knows exactly what I'm talking about. The bridge was completed and inaugurated in 1886, but the bottom deck was only completed in 1887. Other sources say 1888, but I don't know, I wasn't there. Bob's mom was probably there. She's incredibly old. The inauguration was conducted by the Bishop of Porto and not by Dom Luís himself. I mean, it was named after him and he doesn't even show up. The people from Porto got so upset at him that the newspapers at the time actually printed stories saying that the bridge was called Louis I Bridge, not Dom Luís I. Dom is an honorific title given to members of the nobility. You might be more familiar with the Spanish version, Don, like Don Juan or Don Quixote or Don Johnson. In some publications you might see the bridge referred to as Dom Luís I Bridge or just Louis I Bridge, but I don't care as long as the bridge doesn't fall down. Top deck spans 395 meters from end to end. Until 2003, cars and other vehicles used to be able to cross the bridge, but transit was closed in order to adapt it to the new metro line. The line that crosses through the bridge is the D line, or the yellow one if you prefer, and it's the only one that crosses the river connecting Porto and Gaia, and it's the only one that does not stop at Campanha train station. On either side of the tram lines are pedestrian zones with metallic pillars to remind you to stay out of the way of the trams. Very handy to know. But should you be in the way, you'll hear this annoying little bell that sounds like this, to remind you to get out of the way. You don't want to play chicken with a 35-ton tram. Bob did, and that's why we can never show his face on the screen. On the north side of the bridge, you can see the Sé and the medieval wall, while on the southern side you have the monastery Serra do Pilar and the cable car installation that takes you down to the port cellars. Very handy to know that indeed. The lower deck spans 172 meters and has 2 elevated pedestrian platforms, while in the center there is a road for vehicles to pass through. At the base of the arches you have the words Ponte Luís I and the Portuguese coat of arms. Remember, this was built at the time when Portugal was still a kingdom. On the north side of the bridge you come to the Cais da Ribeira, and on the southern side the Avenida Diogo Leite, which leads you directly to the port cellars. Even better information! From the top deck to the river is about an 85-meter drop, and it's actually illegal to jump from the top deck. Because, you can die. But during the spring and the summer you see a bunch of kids, well, I say kids, they're mostly like teenagers and in their early 20s, hanging about, standing on the top of the lower deck, threatening to jump themselves. But they're actually doing it for a stunt. Their buddies hang around on the base of the arches asking people for €1 or 2 for their buddies' bravery. Or stupidity. Tomato, tomato. My recommendation, if you see this, don't waste your time. There's nothing exciting about this. They don't jump up and do any somersaults or any cool tricks. They just simply jump into the water. And they take a long time doing it. The last time I was there with a couple of friends, we waited over 20 minutes just to see a guy jump into the river. No somersaults, no fancy acrobatic tricks, just straight down, blop, into the river. When it was finished in 1886, it was the longest arched bridge in the world until the Honeymoon Bridge at Niagara Falls opened in 1898. But that bridge doesn't exist anymore. So don't go there to try and find it, because it's not there. Come to Porto, where the bridge is still actually here. And should you come with some friends who don't know about the history of this bridge, you can correct them, and you can tell them that you've learned it right here in What's Up in Portugal. We'll see you next time. Everyone, thanks so much for watching this episode. We really hope that you enjoyed it and found it informative, and not at all boring. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up, and press subscribe to receive more awesome videos such as this one. Share with your friends if they're coming over here so that they don't look like idiots when they tell their friends that it was built by Gustav Eiffel, because people will laugh at them. Okay, maybe not, but they'll look silly doing it. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So until next time, ciao.